I'm gonna breathe in. Oh, I have pit stains. Hi, welcome back to Pilots. There's a hair in my mouth. Hi, welcome back to Pilots. This is our third session, but our fourth video. And we're gonna focus this week on societal expectations. Real fun topic. So what we're gonna do today is we're gonna have a discussion about that, about those expectations, how we can recognize them, how we feel about them, and how we can combat them. And then we're also gonna do 2 fun activities. We're gonna make dog toys for shelters and masks that you can wear out to the grocery stores or in public, or even donate to people if you have the means to do so. So let's get started. All right, first things first, before we do anything, I want to do some self-care because I've been super inactive during this period of self-isolation. I'm going to subject all of you to doing some quick yoga with me. So don't make fun of how bad I am at yoga. Okay, so be warned, I have pit stains because this is an old shirt, and that's an expectation that I'm going to combat today, is that my clothes should be clean. All right, so we're gonna breathe in, ready? And reach way up, expose those really old shirts with the pit stains. And bring your hands down into namaste at your chest while you breathe out. This time when we breathe up, we're gonna go up, ready? But then we're gonna tilt to the side as we breathe out. Try to stretch, feel that stretch in your side. Stretch, and then bring back up to center. Breathe, and then down into namaste. And then breathe up. And the other side. Oh, I haven't stretched in a really long time, so this isn't Okay, and now we're gonna swan dive. It's gonna look a little awkward because you can't really like see me. So everyone's just gonna like up. And then we're gonna drop over and hang over at our hips. And we're gonna shake it out, shake everything out. You're gonna hang over at your hips. You just chill here for a while. You can try to, this is a good angle. You can try to grab your legs. Here, let me see if I can tilt it down so you say. Okay, so breathe. And then hang down. You can try to like, if you can touch the floor, that's great. Okay, you can do a little bit of this. Okay, flat back, 2. Do a half raise. Then you drop down. You can hug yourself and do a little shake. Loosen yourselves up. And then we're gonna breathe. And come back up. You can do a flat back and come back up, but it is more healthy if you roll up through the spine and just roll your shoulders. Make sure you're breathing. And there's some other really simple yoga poses that you can do, but we will save those for another time. I'm looking at myself instead of the camera. All right, so see you for the rest of the video. I just want to make sure that everyone's doing all right. Like I said, week to week, things are changing. I'm going to ask for you to comment later on about how you feel about the activities and the discussion, as well as the survey. Please do the survey that's in the link in the description. But I just want to make sure that everyone's doing all right. Just an update from me. I'm working from home and I'm doing this, so things are still going well. It can be a little stressful going outside. I made a mask today because I finally had to go grocery shopping, and that was a pretty stressful experience because I didn't have any handkerchiefs or anything. But it's getting better, and I think people are adapting to this. Just make sure that you are washing your hands and that you are staying safe. Please don't go outside unless you need to. If you have a backyard, use that. You can go on walks, use that, but just make sure that you're not doing any unnecessary interactions with other people or going out to shop or do any recreational activities, just for the sake of flattening this curve and making sure that we can all stop doing self-isolation as soon as possible. So now we're going to talk about societal expectations. And what I mean when I say societal expectations, it's things that put us into boxes because of our race, gender, age, sex, sexuality, and any other kind of defining factor or feature that might make us us, society tells us we need to do certain behaviors, look a certain way, act a certain way, do certain jobs, specifically because they want us to fit into these caricatures of ourselves. I'm trying to combat that because I believe that it's unnecessary and it's absolutely detrimental to individuality and expression of self. So what an example of a societal expectation, I'll just use myself because normally this would be a dialogue between me and the teens that are in my program. I'll just give an expectation that I think society has put onto me, and that's that I should be wearing makeup when I am presenting myself to other people. Because I'm a young woman, people think that if I'm not wearing makeup, I'm tired or I'm sick or I look angry. I'm just living my life. I'm not wearing any makeup right now. I think I look fine, but society has put it on me so much that I should be wearing at least mascara or should fill in my eyebrows that sometimes I'll look in the mirror and I feel like I don't look like myself unless I'm wearing some sort of makeup. But that's not fair to me because I do like to wear makeup, but when I choose to. And on a daily basis, when I was waking up at 6 a.m. to go to work, I didn't want to have to wake up extra early to get ready. Some people love doing that, and that's fine. That's their preference. But the fact is that society puts certain expectations onto people and tells them that they need to be doing certain things in order to fit who they're supposed to be. There's no right or wrong way to be who you're supposed to be. Who you're supposed to be is what you want, who you believe that you are. So if you like wearing makeup every day, fantastic. If you don't, also fantastic. If you like eating meat, great. If you like not eating meat like me, great. But it can be hard to know who we are when we're constantly being berated by society through TV, through media, it can be hard to know who we are and know how to combat those expectations when we're constantly being berated by advertisements and by social media and by TV and movies and songs and any sort of way that we can get indoctrinated into being somebody that we think we're supposed to be. Now, you might like some of the things that people are telling you that you should be. That's totally fine. I'm not here to tell you to feel bad about liking the things that society tells you to like. But it's important to stop and say, who am I? What do I prefer and what do I dislike? So that you can know and you can actively combat that pressure to conform to something that you might not want to be part of. So my example of that is I made a list of things that make me me, things that I like and things that I can look back at and say, you know what? I shouldn't have to feel like I should weigh a certain amount or I should wear certain clothing because that's not me. So let's take a look at my list and then hopefully at home you can make your own, but you don't have to. You could also just keep in mind the things that you like, what makes you, you. Okay, so I made this list here of topical information about myself, just kind of like stats, things that you would find on my driver's license or like on an application. Some of my hobbies and things that are about me. I did this specifically just to make it easier for myself to know the facts, what kind of comprises me and my identity. It's kind of hard to do, and you don't have to know all of these things right now. Like I said, you're going through a period of time where things are changing, so it might not be super clear to you what you're identifying as or what you like to do or really much about your hobbies and things like that. But whatever you have now is great, and it may change or it may grow over the different days, and that's fantastic and that's fine. You're allowed to express yourself differently depending on the day. You're allowed to grow. I encourage you to grow and change and find yourself and find what you want to express yourself as. But this activity is to help you, at least from time to time, check back in and say, this is who I feel that I am. This is who society tells me I'm supposed to be. Do I agree with that or not? So some facts, I'll just go over it. I'm 24. I'm 5'5". I'm about 140 pounds. I am a white woman. I am heterosexual. I use female pronouns, but I don't mind any other pronouns. I'm getting my master's degree. I am not married. I do not want to have children. And that is one that in the later activity that I'm about to show you, I'm going to get a little pressed about. I'm assistant site supervisor. I like to crochet, play video games, paint, garden, do art, play music poorly because I'm not good at music, but I do like to listen to music and go to concerts. I like film and acting. I like hiking and I like snowboarding and all this other stuff. But like I said, it's kind of hard to put down onto paper everything about yourself. I'm kind of vegan. I've been trying, but I do slip up. I like folk music and punk music, a bunch of other music, but I thought that those were the two that kind of like butt heads the most about my identity. I have 4 tattoos, but I want at least 2 more. I have a camp tattoo right here. I actually have 2 camp tattoos, one right here and one right here, and then lavender and a pumpkin behind my ear. I really like to wear all black sometimes, all black with no makeup or a ton of makeup, or I like to wear a bunch of colors with no makeup or a ton of makeup. As evident, I am wearing a bunch of colors with no makeup right now. I either, like I said, either have too much makeup on or none. I love to do my makeup in fun, creative ways, or I love to wake up at 6 a.m. and not have to put on makeup. Like I said, I don't want to have to be expected to constantly be putting things on my face in order to be myself and express my gender. I'm just me. Leave me alone. I grew up in LA. I did my undergrad in San Francisco. I'm doing my grad school in San Diego, and my family is in Seattle, and I might move there pretty soon. There are other facts about me, but like I said, just an example. It's hard to put down everything about yourself into a piece of document, but I made this table, and I'm going to put the table, a blank table, in the description with the surveys. Please do it when you're at home if you want to help you kind of put into categories what you think society expects of you, how you feel about that, and how you can express yourself to others or maybe even to yourself about that expectation. I think it's a pretty good activity in being able to understand what kind of box you're put into with your identity and how you relate to it. Some people might agree with it. I agree with some of the things, but I do it in my own way, and I don't like being told that I'm supposed to do it one way or another. So I might not agree completely. And then how to express yourself, I think, is a really good practice, because even if you're being yourself, even if you're secure in your identity, there might be people who are insecure in their identities or conform to society's expectations really hard and don't want you to be the person that you want to be because they think it's wrong. And maybe it's not their fault, maybe it's just the way that they were brought up, but there's always a way that we can talk to them and say, hey, doesn't have to be like this. I do that all the time with my dad whenever he talks about like, that's a boys thing and that's a girls thing. And I'm like, hey, there's no such thing as a boys thing or a girls thing. Any gender can do whatever they want and be happy. Dad, if you like pink, go for it. You'll still be a man if you want to be. But anyways, so let's get into some examples. So one that I get a lot and one that I get very, very pressed about is if you're a heterosexual young woman, you must want to have children. And if you don't right now, you'll grow into it. I cannot express how many times I've been told when I say that I don't want to have kids, that I'll change my mind. I had one man tell me that I was going to piss off a lot of men by saying that I didn't want to have kids, as if my body is theirs somehow to create children. So obviously how I feel about it, I have extreme anxiety in terms of like body horror stuff. I can't deal with the idea of pregnancy. It's not my zone. I also just don't want to bring another child into this world. That's just my preference. Other people might want to have children. That's totally fine. But me, my expectation, I don't want to conform to that because it's not me. So how I've been telling people about it is, I'm sure there are plenty of people who want to have children, but I don't. I'm happy to take care of other people's children and may one day adopt or change my mind, but that is my business. And it is my business, and it is your business, whether or not you want to do something with your body and have a child. No one else's business. You don't even have to explain to them. You can just say, don't want to talk about it. That's always like a thing too. You can always tell someone like, this is my life, don't want to talk about it, leave me alone. You don't owe anyone anything, any explanation, or any kind of argument about you as a person. One that I think is really, really silly is if you listen to punk music, you're a hard person who doesn't like society and dresses in an abnormal fashion. And then I combined this one, if you listen to folk music, you're a vegetarian hippie that doesn't like society. How I feel about that? Kinda. I'm both of those things. I don't think society is that great right now, and I would love to change it from both perspectives. I love wearing all black, like I said, and I love wearing bright colors, like I said. I love listening to punk music, I love beach punk, and I love folk music. Doesn't make it that I'm not who I'm supposed to be because of those things. I'm allowed to like both, and I'm allowed to express myself in more than one way. I can like more than one genre. I can dress in different ways. It is fine. And that's how I express it to people is I like what I like, I dress how I dress, and it's what makes me happy. It might not be what you're into, but that's fine. And I would hope that you could respect my self-expression as I respect yours, because they can listen to what they want to listen to. They can dress how they want to dress. It's none of my business, and it's none of their business how I do it either. It shouldn't be an argument, but it's really funny because it always is. And then I only did one more because I'm obviously getting very heated about this. I am a very opinionated person, so it gets hard when I like have to combat certain things that I think are silly. But if you present yourself in a feminine manner, you must wear dresses like pink, be quiet and polite, sit like this. With your legs crossed. Not know you're attractive or smart, etc. No, absolutely not. I feel awful about that. I can like pink, I can like dresses. I was wearing a dress earlier today, but right now I'm wearing something that makes me feel more comfortable. Sometimes I wear really baggy sweatshirts with no makeup and my hair is super dirty and I wear jeans and look disgusting, and that's fine. I don't have to present myself to be attractive to people and then also not know that I'm attractive. I'm allowed to look in the mirror and feel good about myself. I'm allowed to know my worth and express my worth to other people, share knowledge, and show that I am smart, I am educated, I am beautiful, inside and out, and I shouldn't have to be small and demure in order to be a woman. If that's how you express yourself, that's fine. If you have the natural personality that is somebody who isn't loud and boisterous like me, you're still expressing yourself in the right way. It's what's right for you. And so how I express it to other people, especially my dad, like I said, he doesn't know any better. Gender expression is dependent upon each person that is expressing their gender. Any gender can like pink and dresses and still be what they are, just like I can like boy things, like video games and snowboarding, and still be presenting myself in a feminine manner. There's no wrong or right way to be yourself. I swapped that, but it's okay. You can like whatever color you want. You can do any sport that you want. You can have any hobby that you want. Your favorite color can be any color of the rainbow. You can have any pronoun or any gender or any sexuality. You can be who you want. It is no one else's business, and there's no wrong way to be yourself. Society might tell you that, but it's not. It's not wrong to be you. As long as you're not hurting anyone else and you're not putting yourself out there in a way that makes it so other people can't be themselves, you should feel comfortable in your identity and be able to either fall in with those expectations if you want, maybe blend them, or even be somebody completely different. It is completely fine. So I hope that this helps. I'm going to put this table in the description so you can fill it out on your own. Please put in the comments how you feel about it. You don't have to do the top part that's like all the like demographic information. I feel comfortable about that because I am comfortable sharing things about myself. I've done a lot of soul searching. I'm an open book. You don't have to be. It's fine. It takes time to trust people and let them know things about yourself. You don't have to be open like that with yourself or with anyone else right now. But if you want to do this activity, you can definitely put in things that you think society expects of you, how you feel about it, and how you would express yourself in regards to it. Yeah, so I mean, some of these things seem a little silly to me, and honestly, it's a bit ridiculous. Like, it's just really funny to me that simple facts about myself, like the fact that I like to wear colors and also black, or the fact that I like punk music or playing video games and also crocheting, like that all of those going together is something that's weird and unexpected, and that, you know, like sometimes it's used to make me feel bad about myself, but I'm me and I know who I am. That list didn't take me very long to make because I've been working since I was younger at combating those things that I'm expected to be and pushing them away so that I can say, you know what? No, you don't get to tell me what I get to do and what I'm interested in life. You know, it goes beyond just preferences, it goes beyond just interests. It's gone into, like I said with the kid thing, lifestyle choices, and it goes into telling people what religion they're allowed to practice or who they're allowed to date and what they're allowed to do with their lives. I was once told that if I work a job that makes me happy or that I have fun with, it's not a real job. That's a really sad expectation that somebody had set, that work needs to be work. People should be able to be happy. People should be able to explore any color, any job, any sport, any game, and not feel bad because they like something that somebody else told them is weird for themselves. You're allowed to have different interests. You're allowed to think outside of the box, and I encourage you to. I encourage you to make a list like that and stop and think and say, what do I like that society might not want me to like? What do I prefer? Because you have you at the end of the day. Out there, the world that's around us, it does not stop if we make a choice that they don't like. People might come at you and have a conversation with you about some of the preferences you make. Just let it roll off your shoulders and say, hey, I know who I am, I like what I like, and I hope that you do too. So I hope that this conversation helps just a little bit. The activity, I think, is pretty helpful. Let me know in the comments, just like I asked with the feedback about how everything's going with you and how the feedback with the activity that we're about to do. But I want to know how you feel about the pressure that's being put onto you, because I think it's a real problem, especially for youth, because you're developing who you are and what you want out of life right now. And there's so much propaganda and so many messages out there that's telling you that you got to pick one direction or another. I think that a big pressure for you guys right now is knowing what you want to do with your life. And I think that's ultimately one of the biggest things that stressed me out when I was a kid, was thinking about what college do I have to go to? What major am I going to pick? If I pick that major, am I going to have to be stuck with that for forever? Am I going to not be able to survive and work a happy, healthy job if I pick something that's fun for me? I'm here to tell you that that's not true. I went to a college that I wanted to go to. I studied film, I studied theater, I got a degree in that, and it was fantastic. I loved it. I got to explore. I took a Judaism class, I took a gardening class, I took theater, I took gender and sexuality studies, I took existentialism and ethics and all of these different things, and I got to explore and figure it out. And ultimately, I got a media degree, and then I didn't want to do it. And I felt really guilty about that because I was expected that I put in all that time and effort majoring in something. But for me, the most important part of that college experience was being able to get out of my city and live somewhere new, make new friends, and have new experiences. You can stick with the major that you want, but you shouldn't have to feel like what you choose right now is what you're going to be for the rest of your life. I'm here 2 years later after I graduated from undergrad, and I'm doing a master's degree in child development, a completely different field. Because when I was younger, I realized that I loved working for the YMCA and I loved working with kids, but I was pressured, I was expected to pick something that would make me a lot of money. And so I picked film, because even though that was a gamble and that was something that I knew was a creative outlet, I knew that at the end of the day, I might make more money doing something like that. And then when I got into the industry, it wasn't something that I wanted to do. So here I am doing something that I know that I want to do, something I can help people with. So don't feel pressured to know who you are right now, but do try to explore, because so don't feel pressured. So don't let that pressure get to you. You're allowed to explore who you want to be right now. And those lists that I asked you to make, they might say one thing today, but tomorrow could say a completely different thing, because you're going to change and you're going to grow and you're going to learn. But the important thing is stopping and saying, what do I want? Who do I want to be? And not letting outside forces force you into a box that makes you feel smaller than you are. So now that we've had that discussion, we're going to move on. We're going to do our community service project. So I will see you facing the other way. Okay, so for today's service project, that was stupid. Okay, so for today's service project, we're gonna be making dog toys and masks. So keeping it topical. Okay, so for today's service project, we're gonna be making dog toys for shelters and also masks for maybe you, your friends, your family, or anybody that might need one that doesn't have one right now. They say that sweatshirt fabric is more effective for blocking it out since it's thicker, but I'm gonna use a t-shirt because I don't have any sweatshirts to cut up. There's also other fabrics that are much more closely knit and thicker that helps block out any particles or any contagions. So you can see that I have unfortunately cut up an old staff shirt. I don't really need it right now, so I'm sorry to my job, but I will get a new one later on. I also already made one earlier today because I had to go to the grocery store and I don't have like one of those standard masks that people have. But what you're gonna do is you're gonna cut out, so have it just folded normally. You're gonna cut out kind of like a, I don't know if you can see that very well, kind of like a crescent shape, like a little oval, half oval, so that it is long enough to go across your face and around your ears. So let me cut another one right now as an example. You can see Bert's in the corner again. He likes to lay down in my room, especially when it starts getting warm again, and it definitely is getting warm again, which is nice. But at the same time, I like idealize the warmth and forget about the months where it was really, really hot in my room all the time. So hopefully we have better temperature control. This one might be a little too small, but this is just for the example. Okay. And obviously this one's pretty easy. It's a no-sew mask. You're just cutting it out and then you're gonna cut out the ear holes. I might have made this one a little too long, but you can always readjust it afterwards. So you're gonna just hold it and just kind of pinch where your ear is and then cut out. What I like to do is I just kind of pinch the fabric and then you have like a little slit. I don't know, this is like hard to show on camera. So there's a little slit, and then I'm gonna cut it out so it's a little bit bigger for my ears. You can always trim the sides after you're done so that it is a little better fit around your ear if there's too much extra fabric. This is just an easy one. I've seen people wrap up hair ties in handkerchiefs, but I don't have any handkerchiefs or bandanas. So I'm using old shirts, which is also effective. But I would recommend, if you have the capability to do so, try to get ones that are approved by the CDC just for safety. But this is for just, you know, anything works in a pinch. This is more for your personal use. You're not going anywhere that will be super contaminated, but somewhere where you might need a mask, like Vons. The grocery stores might not be letting people in right now. Okay, so you see, just a very simple mask, and it covers it covers both my mouth and my nose, which is what. Hey, buddy, can I? He doesn't like that. Okay, it covers both my mouth and my nose, which is what you need so that you're not breathing or people aren't breathing on you. So it's kind of cute. Okay, so that is just a standard mask that you can use. He just wants to go right back to that spot. So this one might be a little too short. You want it so that you can make sure that you're talking and it's not gonna like dip down. I hope you can understand me when I have this on. Yeah, but you wanna make sure that it's gonna cover both your mouth and your nose without it slipping down while you're talking. So now, if we were just doing pilots and not doing, you know, pandemic crafts, what you're gonna do is, for a dog toy, And these are great for shelters because, you know, sometimes they can't afford to buy toys for their dogs. So donated toys, if you have any at home, like you have pets and you have old toys, you can definitely donate those as well. But what you're gonna do is you can take an old shirt, you're gonna cut it up into strips. Okay, so that's 2 strips. We need 3 strips, maybe 4 if you're like really good at braiding. 5 if you can like, I think it's called Dutch braiding. But you're just gonna cut up old shirts into a bunch of different strips, and then I will show you what to do next. It is good that I have sewing scissors because then it cuts a lot easier. Okay, so I'm gonna take 3 strips. This one's a little longer than the other ones. And what I'm gonna do is at the top, I'm gonna pinch all 3 together, and then I'm going to twist them into a knot. So there's a knot up at the top. The glare from my window isn't that great. And then you're gonna braid it together and then just knot it at the bottom. And that's a simple dog toy. Love to play tug of war with it, they'll go play fetch with it. And it's a great way to help give back to a shelter if you can't volunteer there. You know, donations are really, really great. There's cans of dog food at Trader Joe's normally. They might be out right now. That's like $1. You can always donate food. I would call and check with them first though to see what kind of brands they approve of just for the health of the dogs, because some of them have special dietary restrictions. Sorry, I'm just trying to make the ends more even. I got the seam, so it's harder. Okay, so there you go. Oh my God, let me drop it. This is just a simple, let me get it out of the glare. There you go, simple dog toy. It's hard to see because it's dark, but you just braid it together and you tie it on both ends and it's a dog toy. And you can make like, that's like one of them, and I still have this much shirt left. So you can make a lot with that and you can donate a lot and give back. Same thing with the masks, like I made 2 and it's still a lot of shirt. I would check about different fabrics and what's more effective, but you can make this out of sweatshirts as well. And it is a really, if you don't have a sewing machine, you don't have elastic, this is a really easy way to make a mask. So that is our service project for this session. And I hope you enjoyed it. Please let me know in the comments if it's effective, if you tried it, if you've done this before, or you have any suggestions for something that's maybe a little bit more effective. Thank you. Let's move on. Okay, so I hope you liked that activity. It was something that we used to do in pilots, or at least the dog toy part was something that we did in pilots, and I really loved that activity because I love animals so much. And I love being able to provide for shelters because a lot of teens are too young to get approved to work at shelters, or it's a 6-month process in order to become a volunteer for a shelter. So I like that we're able to give back to places that take care of animals, even if we can't physically be there and take care of it. And the masks are obviously very relevant for right now, and I hope that you can find a use for them. This is a pretty short, sweet, and to the point video. I know that it was largely lecture-based on my part. Other ones will fluctuate between more activities and more discussion. Unfortunately, because we can't have a dialogue, well, other than me reading the comments and responding to them, it's more lecture-based when it's activities like this and topics like this. So please let me know how you feel about that. In the survey, it will ask you. Remember, please, those surveys are very, very important to me so that I can have that feedback and learn how to adapt this into something that works better for all of you. So please do those lists. Please let me know how you feel about the pressure that's being put onto you and who you think, you know, society tells you you should be and who you think you are. I'm very, very interested, and I am looking forward to seeing you again next week. Thank you. Oh, you're such a sleepy, handsome man. Just stuck my finger in his ear.